Pacific white-sided dolphin. Pacific white-sided dolphins, known for the distinct coloring that give them their name, are a playful and highly social marine mammal. They are also sometimes known as the hookfin porpoise because of their large, curved dorsal fin, though they are not technically porpoises. In the United States, Pacific white-sided dolphins live off the coasts of California, Oregon, Washington, and Alaska. They can be seen traveling in schools of thousands, but group sizes are usually between 10 and 100 animals. These dolphins are often seen bow riding, swimming near the front part of a ship, and jumping, somersaulting, or even spinning in the air. Pacific white-sided dolphins in the United States are not endangered or threatened, but they are protected under the Marine Mammal Protection Act. A primary threat to Pacific white-sided dolphins is entanglement in fishing gear, such as gillnets and trawls. Please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Thank you. Let's continue. NOAA Fisheries is dedicated to the conservation and protection of Pacific white-sided dolphins. We are working to help conserve this species through collaborative management, integrated science, partnerships, and outreach. Population status. NOAA Fisheries estimates the population size for Pacific white-sided dolphins in its stock assessment reports. In all, there are 3 stocks of Pacific white-sided dolphins in U.S. waters. Population trends for the North Pacific stock off the coast of Alaska are unknown. A survey of the 2 stocks off the coasts of Washington, Oregon, and California from 2008 to 2014 found a population of more than 21,000 dolphins. Appearance. These dolphins have a robust body, short rostrum, snout, and large dorsal fin compared to their overall body size. Their back, flukes, tail, and lips are black, their sides, dorsal fin, and flippers are gray, and their belly is white. They have a white or light gray stripe along their sides that extends from their eye to their tail, sometimes referred to as suspenders. Pacific white-sided dolphins are most likely to be confused with common dolphins and Dall's porpoises because they have similar large light-colored flank patches. The average adult Pacific white-sided dolphin weighs about 300 to 400 pounds and is between 5.5 and 8 feet long, with males being generally larger than females. Behavior and diet. Pacific white-sided dolphins feed on a variety of prey, such as squid and small schooling fish, capelin, sardines, and herring. They can dive underwater for more than 6 minutes to feed. They have small conical teeth that help them catch and hold on to their prey. Each tooth row contains 23 to 36 pairs of teeth. Instead of using their teeth to chew their food, dolphins use their teeth to grip food before swallowing it whole, head first, so the spines of the fish do not catch in their throats. Pacific white-sided dolphins often work together as a group to herd schools of fish. Each adult eats about 20 pounds of food a day. Where they live. Pacific white-sided dolphins are pelagic, meaning they live in the open ocean and nearshore waters, but are unlikely to be found close to shore. They live in the temperate waters of the North Pacific Ocean. In the United States, they are found off the coast of California, Oregon, Washington, and Alaska. Worldwide, they are found in the southern Bering Sea, around the Aleutian Islands, Sea of Okhotsk, Sea of Japan, and Yellow and East China Seas to the south of Japan. Lifespan and reproduction. The Pacific white-sided dolphin can live more than 40 years. Males reach sexual maturity around 10 years and females around 8 to 11. They mate and give birth from late spring to fall, except in the Central Pacific, where calves are born in late winter to spring. Gestation is usually 9 to 12 months, and calves weigh about 30 pounds at birth and are about 3 to 4 feet. Mothers nurse their calves for up to 18 months and females usually give birth every 3 years. Threats. Interactions with fishing gear. One of the main threats to the Pacific white-sided dolphin is entanglement in fishing gear. Dolphins can become entangled or captured in commercial fishing gear such as gillnets, seines, trawls, trap pots, and longlines. Before a 1933 United Nations moratorium that banned large-scale drift nets, Pacific white-sided dolphins were often captured by Japanese fisheries. In addition, every year between 1978 and 1991, thousands of Pacific white-sided dolphins suffered mortality and serious injury when caught incidentally in high seas fisheries for salmon and squid. These fisheries were closed in 1991 and no other large-scale fisheries have operated in the central North Pacific since 1991. Ocean noise. Low-frequency underwater noise pollution can interrupt the normal behavior of Pacific white-sided dolphins. Noise interference hinders their ability to use sound, which in turn disturbs their ability to communicate, choose mates, find food, avoid predators, and navigate. All Pacific white-sided dolphins are protected under the MMPA. Our work supports the protection and conservation of Pacific white-sided dolphins by reducing interactions with commercial fishing gear, minimizing the effects of vessel disturbance, noise, and other types of human impacts, responding to dead, injured, or entangled dolphins. Learn more about our conservation efforts. Science. NOAA Fisheries conducts research on the biology, behavior, and ecology of Pacific white-sided dolphins to better inform management and policy. Examples include undertaking stock assessments to determine the status of populations and/or subpopulations, examining population structure, abundance, and dynamics using a variety of research techniques, including photo identification and genetics, investigating causes of mortality, especially in unusual cases, conducting ecosystem and habitat monitoring. Please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Thank you. Let's continue. How you can help. Don't feed wild dolphins. Dolphins fed by humans lose their natural wariness and learn to associate people with food, causing them to beg for handouts and take bait and catch directly from fishing gear. This puts them at risk from vessel strikes and becoming entangled in or ingesting fishing gear. Dolphins may teach these behaviors to their young, thereby putting them at risk. More on protecting wild dolphins and admiring them from a distance. Keep your distance. Be responsible when viewing marine life in the wild. Observe all dolphins and porpoises from a safe distance of at least 50 yards and limit your time spent observing to 30 minutes or less. Call the NOAA Fisheries Enforcement Hotline at 800-853-1964 to report a federal marine resource violation. This hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for anyone in the United States. You may also contact your closest NOAA Office of Law Enforcement field office during regular business hours. A dolphin's lifespan varies by species, but bottlenose dolphins in the wild can live for 30 to 50 years, with some individuals reaching over 60 years old. Females generally live longer than males. Factors like environment, food availability, pollution, and human interaction significantly influence a dolphin's lifespan, with wild dolphins often outliving those in captivity. Wild dolphins. Bottlenose dolphins typically live for 30 to 50 years. Other species. Some species, like orcas, can live for over 90 years. Factors. Wild dolphins face natural predators, pollution, and human-related threats like fishing gear, which can reduce their lifespan. Captive dolphins. Reduced lifespan. Dolphins in captivity often have a much shorter lifespan than their wild counterparts, with some studies showing average lifespans of only around 12 to 13 years. Causes. Captivity can lead to stress and health problems, contributing to lower survival rates, particularly for calves. Key factors for dolphin lifespan. Species. Different species have different average lifespans. Environment. Habitat quality and environmental factors, such as pollution, play a large role. Threats. The presence of human-related threats like boat interactions and fishing gear can significantly shorten a dolphin's life. In captivity, dolphins live shorter, less natural lives. In the wild, dolphins spend their lives surrounded by other dolphins. But in captivity, life looks very different, and their health often suffers as a result. Humans have always been fascinated by dolphins. They are regarded as good luck by sailors and play the starring role in Please Like, Share and Subscribe to help the channel grow. Thank you. Many stories in which they rescue people from drowning or shark attacks. But our fascination with dolphins has had deadly consequences. We lock them in tanks for us to visit, point and gawk at. When we want to see dolphins in the wild, we gather on boats that pollute their homes, making it difficult for them to communicate and causing them stress. Dolphins are extremely intricate creatures that can grow to be decades old without the continuous and detrimental mishandling of well-meaning but oblivious humans. How can we find out the age of a dolphin? There are a handful of different methods that can be used to determine the age of a dolphin. Among the various techniques for aging are those that use teeth, flippers, and a blood or skin sample. For a long time, scientists would either need to extract a tooth or perform radiographs, or X-rays, on the dolphin's flippers. Tooth extraction is a highly invasive procedure but provides the opportunity for scientists and researchers to estimate age from growth layer analysis. A newer, less invasive, and more accurate way of estimating the age of a dolphin is through the collection and analysis of a blood or skin sample. What is the life cycle of a dolphin? Dolphins spend their lives as part of a pod surrounded by other dolphins. The pod plays a key role in every stage of a dolphin's life. Newborn or calf. A dolphin's tail is typically the first part of a dolphin to meet the world, which helps to ensure that by the time the baby's head emerges there is still enough time for them to get to the surface to take their first breath of air. Either the mother or another female member of the pod will push the calf to the surface to ensure they are able to breathe. The baby dolphin will be able to swim and breathe independently within the first few minutes after birth and will then spend the first 6 months to 2 years of their life nursing from their mother, depending on their species. Explainer: in captivity, dolphins live shorter, less natural lives. In the wild, dolphins spend their lives surrounded by other dolphins. But in captivity, life looks very different, and their health often suffers as a result. Humans have always been fascinated by dolphins. They are regarded as good luck by sailors and play the starring role in many stories in which they rescue people from drowning or shark attacks. But our fascination with dolphins has had deadly consequences. We lock them in tanks for us to visit, point and gawk at. When we want to see dolphins in the wild, we gather on boats that pollute their homes, making it difficult for them to communicate and causing them stress. Dolphins are extremely intricate creatures that can grow to be decades old without the continuous and detrimental mishandling of well-meaning but oblivious humans. How can we find out the age of a dolphin? There are a handful of different methods that can be used to determine the age of a dolphin. Among the various techniques for aging are those that use teeth, flippers, and a blood or skin sample. For a long time, scientists would either need to extract a tooth or perform radiographs, or X-rays, on the dolphin's flippers. Tooth extraction is a highly invasive procedure but provides the opportunity for scientists and researchers to estimate age from growth layer analysis. A newer, less invasive, and more accurate way of estimating the age of a dolphin is through the collection and analysis of a blood or skin sample. What is the life cycle of a dolphin? Dolphins spend their lives as part of a pod surrounded by other dolphins. The pod plays a key role in every stage of a dolphin's life. Newborn or calf. A dolphin's tail is typically the first part of a dolphin to meet the world, which helps to ensure that by the time the baby's head emerges there is still enough time for them to get to the surface to take their first breath of air. Either the mother or another female member of the pod will push the calf to the surface to ensure they are able to breathe. The baby dolphin will be able to swim and breathe independently within the first few minutes after birth and will then spend the first 6 months to 2 years of their life nursing from their mother, depending on their species. Read this next. Feature. In rural Pennsylvania, a free-range chicken farm and solar project is not what it seems. Climate 8-minute read. Adolescent dolphin. Following weaning, a dolphin will spend another 3 to 8 years with their mother, who will protect them and may assist other female members of the pod with their young. Adult dolphin. Somewhere between 5 and 10 years old, a dolphin will reach puberty and be able to mate, thus beginning the life cycle over again. Depending on the species, a dolphin may produce offspring every 1.5 to 3 years. How long do dolphins live in the wild? Though there are many different dolphin species in oceans, rivers, and waterways all over the world, most tend to have a wild lifespan of around 20 to 40 years. Fraser's dolphins, which can be found in deep tropical waters, live for around 18 years. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration of the United States, common bottlenose dolphins live for at least 40 years, but some female dolphins reach lifespans of 60 years or more. They spend their lives in harbors, bays, gulfs, and waterways all over the world, swimming miles upon miles every day. How long do bottlenose dolphins live in captivity? Bottlenose dolphins in captivity have a mean life expectancy of 28.2 years and a median of 29.2. A life in captivity is vastly different from the one that dolphins would be leading if they were in their natural habitats. One significant difference is the area that the dolphins are able to explore. Outside of captivity, dolphins have endless waterways to explore, whereas in captivity they have tanks of a limited size, often made up of smooth cement walls and lacking the points of interest present in the wild. Dolphins in the wild also form close-knit pods that share a language and communicate with each other. In many captive settings, dolphins from different pods or even different species altogether are placed into the same enclosures, making it difficult or even impossible for them to communicate with each other, which can cause frustration and stress. How old is the oldest dolphin? The oldest recorded bottlenose dolphin was Niccolo, a dolphin living in Sarasota Bay who researchers had known since she was a calf. She was photographed in 2016 at 66 years old. Orcas are the dolphins that are known to live the longest. One particularly well-known orca was dubbed Granny. She became famous because of how often she would be seen and photographed in her primary residence, in the northeastern coastal waters of the United States, where she was an important matriarch of the endangered southern resident orca community. She was likely an astonishing 105 years old when she was last seen in 2016. Due to a lack of further sightings, she has since been presumed dead. Probable causes of dolphin deaths. In addition to natural causes of death, such as old age and certain illnesses, dolphins are being killed by human activity every single day. Some of the greatest threats to dolphins are bycatch, climate change, tourism, overfishing, pollution, noise pollution, habitat degradation, and hunting. Bycatch. Anything that is caught while fishing that is not the intended target is known as bycatch. Dolphins are frequently caught in the massive nets of industrial fishing vessels and dragged along with the thousands of other fish, marine animals, and objects that are collected. Dolphins are likely to drown or die from wounds while in the nets, or if brought on board may be thrown back into the water to die from injuries caused by the nets and by fishermen themselves. Climate change. A study of dolphins residing in the Shark Bay of Western Australia following a 4-degree increase in water temperatures in 2011 found that survival rates dropped by 12% and that female dolphins were giving birth to fewer calves, an outcome that persisted until 2017. Tourism. Though going on a dolphin sighting cruise may seem harmless, research on the population of dolphins living in Doubtful Sound, New Zealand has suggested otherwise. In the study, the presence of boats reduced restfulness in dolphins and increased behaviors associated with discontentment. Overfishing. By taking too much fish from the oceans through overfishing, we are not only trapping dolphins in nets but acting as their competitors and not leaving enough behind for them to consume. Pollution. Pollution, whether released into the atmosphere or directly into the water, has a profound impact on oceans and, with them, the dolphins that call them home. Everything from dolphin health to food sources and the ecosystems in which they live are negatively impacted by pollution. Noise pollution. Noise pollution from boats and other underwater sources is detrimental for dolphins who rely on echolocation to communicate and navigate the world around them. Certain dolphins are no longer able to communicate at the great distances they once were due to noise pollution, making hunting more difficult. What you can do. One significant step you can take right now to help protect dolphins and ensure each individual is living their life to the fullest is to stop eating seafood. Making the decision to omit seafood from our diets can have far-reaching impacts on dolphins. Please like, share and subscribe to help the channel grow. Thank you.